relations. And our first slide is the duties of employer and employee relations. Duties of an employer, this is the duties of employer to employee. The employer must pay the employees a fair and agreed upon wage, must provide a safe and clean work environment, must provide proper machinery and tools for the job, must be able to provide an environment free of discrimination and harassment. If an employee is injured while working, that employee is entitled to recovery compensation. Any questions?
Does the employee find this all out in the beginning or not?
He should in his employee handbook,
Alright.
which should be given by the employer at the time of hiring. And this is the duties of the employee to an employer. Must carry out orders given from the employer about the employment, must act in good faith towards the employer, work must be done with caution and care, and they must follow company policy. Any questions?
Not that one.
No questions? Duties of the employers and employees. So this deals with the term called respondeat superior. It's a Latin phrase meaning let the master answer, and the definition is a legal doctrine that holds in the acts of the employee committed while performing the duties are acts of the employer. So like the employer is responsible for any acts that the employee commits while working for the employer. Employer is liable for injuries to third parties caused by employee, and the employee is also personally responsible for his or her acts, whether intentional or unintentional.
Is that only in the workplace?
No, so if they go out like on a job, it just has to be during a course of like normal work or a normal work day. And this topic deals with employment at will. So what is employment at will? If you are employed at will, your employer does not need a good reason to fire you. Employment contracts are presumed to be at will. And then, so why do employers use them? To manage employers' performance. Company needs to downsize, outsourcing the employee's job, or a merger with another company that makes the employee's job redundant. So like if there's a merge and the other company has a better employee, your employer can just fire you for no reason at all.
Alright.
Any questions?
No.
And this is still employment at will. This is dealing with legal rights. So there's very limited legal rights to fight against your termination. Race, gender, or religion are characteristics for which you can't be fired. An at-will agreement is usually found in employment contracts or handbooks. You're not required to sign the employment at will contract, but it does have limitations. And you can take caution you should take caution when in signing employment at will contracts, just because they're a little bit, they don't favor the employee, they favor the employer.
Alright.
Any questions on that?
Should you get a lawyer for that contract to look over, or what?
So the lawyer, that's a good question. The lawyer you could get a lawyer to look at it, but they wouldn't be able to do much with making it fair. They would probably just advise you whether to sign it or not.
Alright.
And the last topic is the Fair Labor Standard Act of 1938. And this was a set of laws that set minimum age of employee executives, minimum wage of professionals, and pay rate of overtime outside sales associates.
Why they